So here again, 3 of the last 4 artists have been top sellers recently in the set. We're going to see higher than average numbers from 3 of the 4. And as expected, the Willie Mays by Ermsey and the Mariano by F. came in well over the average, especially when you look at the average print run from last week without Mike Trout. But hey, welcome to episode number 98 of the Project 2020 show, otherwise known as the Project 2020 Nightly News. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram as @CRT_Sportscards. And the best website you want to visit for everything related to Project 2020 is my website, CRTSportscards.com. But here we are, Thursday evening. We've now seen 8 of the 10 cards and 4 of the 10 print runs. And we just had 2 very, very large print runs in the set overall. Both Ermsey and F. Mariano come in over 3,000. And right now, that is a massive number in Project 2020. So as I surmised yesterday, when you looked at those 2 cards and the Blake, Jameson, Derek Jeter, 3 of the next 4 print runs are going to be very, very large. When you take a look at last week, the last week print run average was 2,800, but that is with a 7,000 printed Mike Trout. When you take out that Mike Trout, you're looking at a print run last week of only 2,200 on average of the 9 cards. The F. coming in at 3,039 and that Mays at 3,018. So both of these cards, 40% over the average. That is a very stout number, and that shows the power of Ermsey and the power of F. this deep into Project 2020. So when you look at print runs and you think about where the remaining cards are going to land, these are 2 prime examples of an artist that has the fan base behind them and the fans purchasing their cards at a higher rate than other artists. So fantastic result from these 2 cards, and it was a great sort of second print run day to go in week number 30. And one artist that's going to continue the trend of a very, very high print run. And now whether this print run is because the card is so great or his cards are great overall or because his fan base is just such a powerful force when it comes to buying up his product, we have Ben Baller releasing his Roberto Clemente. This is Ben Baller's first horizontal card in this set. And I totally understand if you were hoping that he would go 20 vertical cards from a display perspective, but because he hadn't released either this card or his Sandy Koufax, we didn't know. But here we are. We have a horizontal Clemente. Now taking a peek at some vertical Project 2020 cards, Ben Baller's most recent release was at 42-45 George Brett. Before that, it was Bob Gibson and then Teddy Ballgame. On Roberto Clemente, we saw him just 2 weeks ago from F. Before that, Tyson Beck, and then the second version of the Roberto Clemente from Jacob Rochester. And look, this deep into the set, this Roberto Clemente from Ben Baller is kind of what we expect to see, except it's missing one big thing, and I don't know why it's not on the card. But he didn't put Ben Baller did the card, the words they're missing. Where are they at? I cannot believe he missed this marketing opportunity for this card. It looks like a gold dollar bill, and I was just shocked to see him not put on the card, Ben Baller did the card. So we'll see if it comes back on the next card, but this card is going to sell very, very well. The question is, will it top 4,500? And the second card up today, who is going to ride a little bit of a tailwind from the Ben Baller fans, buying his card and potentially a 2-pack on the Topps website, is Sophia Chang with her Cal Ripken Jr. What is your first thought when you think of a Sophia Chang Project 2020 card? I tell you, for me, it's consistency. The last time we saw Ripken was just a few weeks ago with Blake Jameson's very blue Ripken. Before that, it was the grotesque. And then before that, we talked about last night, the split in half Ermsey design. On Sophia Chang, we had the no name on front Frank Thomas. Before that, Derek Jeter. And then before that, we had Tony Gwynn. So when you mix in all of the stats, and look, these cards, in my opinion, it's kind of like taking the back of the baseball card and putting it on the front, mixing it with the image. So because of that, this is why the Sophia Chang, compared to the Roberto Clemente, is my card of the day. A fan of baseball, or a new fan of baseball, or a person who's not a fan of Cal Ripken can look at this card and learn a lot of things. And speaking of learning, I learned a big thing right now looking at eBay for Terapeak. The Ben Baller Roberto Clemente at 8 o'clock came in at 37 pre-orders. So that's a big number considering where we are right now in the set based on the past couple of weeks at looking at the numbers at 8 o'clock. But the Sophia Chang Cal Ripken Jr. comes in at 19 pre-orders. That is a very strong number, in my opinion, when you think about her recent print runs. But then again, you have the wind-aided sort of number from Ben Baller, but that number should only be happening on Topps, not on eBay. So it is interesting to see her already at 19 sales. When you look at like Gregory Siff last night only had 6, and now he's at 10 today. And some might argue, myself included, that the Siff Gooden is maybe a little bit better of a card than the Ripken. But look, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what I think about the cards. What matters is what you think about the cards and how you're purchasing as a collector of Project 2020. So it's going to be very interesting to see where the Siff print run lands today or tomorrow morning versus the Sophia Chang, as these numbers should be pretty even, but they may not be. So we'll see also if Siff drops under 1,800 because he's only at 10 pre-orders. I really hope he doesn't, but we will see this time tomorrow. And then closing out the pre-orders for the evening, we've got Blake Jameson's Derek Jeter, 45 pre-orders, a very strong number. We know this number is going to be very high. With the Blake Jameson fans, with Blake buying cards, this is going to be another strong number. So the average print run for the week is going to be very high. With that, have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow night for episode number 99 of the Project 2020 Nightly News. For episode number 99 of the Project 2020 Nightly News.